Hello students, in the last video we talked about the different Python versions that were out there, and you might find as you learn Python you might find that there are differences, of course, between the code and some of the things used by Python 2 versus Python 3. However, as we talk about, we're going to be using Python 3 in this course. Now, Guido van Rossum, the original developer of Python, had no idea what he started when in 1989 he decided to spend a few weeks on a hobby programming project that he could work on while his office at work was closed during Christmas. He named the language Python, not because of a liking for snakes, but because he was an enthusiastic fan of the British TV comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus. However, the language was picked up by programmers all over the world who love its elegance and power, and you will experience that when you start coding in Python. Python is now one of the most popular programming languages in use today. About the Python versions, one of the first things you'll discover about Python is that many versions of the language are available. From a programmer's point of view, this is not really terribly helpful. Programs you write from one version of Python are not guaranteed to work on other versions of Python. However, the good thing about Python is that it lets you use parts of other people's programs in your programs, which is a great way to save time and effort. Of course, this only works properly if all the programs are written using the same Python version. Over the years, the different versions of the language have resolved into two distinct extremes of development, which simplifies things somehow. You will see version 2.7, which is the old stalwart, is great because there is a lot of existing software uses for version 2.7. However, I would recommend that you only use version 3.17, which is probably the one that you're going to be installing with me. At the time of this recording, version 3.17 is the one that we're going to be installing. This is great because it eliminates some confusion about the language that can trip you up. So try to keep everything on Python 3. The good news is that the fundamentals of program creation are the same for both versions of Python, and indeed for all programming languages. So as you learn Python, you will see that some similarities with other languages, and you'll be able to transfer this skill into other languages, just like I did with JavaScript, for example. So what we're going to start is we're going to start by getting the tools that we need, and that is installing Python in Windows. I will be going through both installations in Windows and in Linux. Before you can begin to do programming, we need to install the Python interpreter and the standard library of tested code modules that comes with it. You have to go to this website called python.org downloads, as you can see in the slide. I'm going to be walking with you through the installing. Although I already have installed in my machine or PC the version 3.17, I want to show it to you. We're going to learn how to download the appropriate version of your system, and when download completes, we will run the installer together and we'll choose whether to install it for all users or just yourself. Then we'll affect the suggested default location, which is normally will be a drive named Python under your C drive. If you run with any Python installer problems, it might be because you already have a version. Most computers don't. But if you're using a computer that has been used before, or you have tried to download Python before, normally this doesn't cause any errors, but we'll talk about that. As you can see, the Python version right now is 3.71, and what I will do in the next video is to go and record how to install in my machine, just a step by step, Python for Windows PC, and then another video will cover Python for the Mac system. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.